Right. When we're truing a wheel, it's really important that we get the fundamental concept down first, which is that the spokes pull in tension equally from either side of the hub flanges down to a center line on the rim.
You want it to, like,
the importance of that is that they don't work individually. Adjusting the tension on one individual spoke will make an immediate adjustment, but has a much broader effect on the wheel as a whole. As such, individual adjustments spoke to spoke are fine, but they don't actually aid in getting the wheel perfectly true. To true a wheel in full, you have to look at the wheel as a whole and determine what spokes and where are in tension and bring them to tension while not taking other spokes out of tension, such that if I was to tighten this series of spokes down hard, all evenly, it would just pull the rim up versus pulling it side to side. We try and get wheels tensioned and trued on a very, very finite level, such that a 1/4 of a millimeter play on either side is too much. We want them as true as possible. To do that, we're going to utilize a spoke wrench and a truing stand, which is really just a gauge. All this whole thing does is allow me to accurately see where to adjust the wheel. Giving it a quick spin, let me know specifically where it's out of true. And because this is a new wheel, it's going to be fairly round from the get-go. Based on this, I can identify a section of the wheel from here to here that is not in true, and I can start adjusting accordingly by a combination of tightening and or loosening spokes appropriately. Generally speaking, when truing a wheel, 1/4 turn rule should be observed, in as much as you don't want to turn any spoke more than a 1/4 turn at a time. If you're finding one spoke that really needs to move and you give it 2 or 3 turns, inevitably you will overtension that spoke and cause some sort of roundness issues to the opposite side of the wheel. Again, a wheel is a system. It's comprised of multiple parts: the hub, the spokes, the nipples, and the rim, all of which work together to give you a round, full wheel. So isolating those back down into their components and just working specifically on one spoke defies the logic of the system and will make it such that a wheel is not as easily trued as if you were looking at it as a whole. Long story short, focus on a section of wheel versus an individual spoke. If you find a section of rim that's not in round, you want to identify why specifically that is. And it's obvious to find the spokes that are loose in tension. It may be harder to find spokes that are over-tensioned, but a combination of loosening over-tensioned spokes and tightening under-tensioned spokes should get your rim back round and center.